Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for coming on to this call with me. I am Coach Gordon, and this is our What is Coaching and Beachbody all about. So I'll start just by telling you a little bit about me and how I got into Beachbody and coaching. It started for me back in 2011. Just at the beginning of that, or just at the end of 2010. I went through a very heavy mental breakdown in 2010. I couldn't leave the house. I was very scared to leave the house. I had a very deep depression, and I went through an awful lot of overeating. I was self-medicating. It was really difficult at that time, and I put on so much weight. Now, I've always been a really big person, or up until that point. I'd always been really overweight. I mean, when I was at school, I was an obese child. I loved food. I used to eat all the same foods as basically everyone. My parents used to feed us the same portion sizes, and if we didn't eat it, we didn't get dessert and all that kind of thing. So I've always been what I would class as naturally overweight. And up until that point, I didn't really realise that I was overweight and unhealthy. And what happened shortly after that was I was off work for about 4 or 5 months because of that. And when I went back to work, I was working in a shop, and this guy came up to me. He was the manager of the shop, and he put his arm around me and he patted me on the belly, and he said, "Oh, you'll be as big as me one day." And I laughed, and we had a joke about it and how much weight I put on. And the thing that got me there was the guy who I'm talking about was obese. He was medically obese, and I got home that night and thought, that's not even a lie. That's so true. Like, if I'm not careful, I was already heavily on my way to being diabetic. I was still going through some depression and overeating, and I really had to do something about it. And I made a decision there and then that I have to change. Something has to give. Like, I have to do something to get through this. And I think it was about 1 or 2 days just after that, one of the guys I was working with had told me about P90X was the program at the time, and I was like, oh, I've never heard of that. And he said, have you heard of Insanity? And I'd heard of Insanity. I know a couple of people who'd done Insanity before, so I said, yeah, I've heard of that. And he said, well, listen, I've got a link. If I give you the link, you've got access to the whole program. He said, would you be interested? And I was like, yeah, I could do that. Not knowing really where Insanity came from. He was just talking about the workout, not the company or anything. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. So I streamed Insanity from his storage online, and it was obviously a burned copy, which, yeah, some of us do that, we know, or have done up to this point. And I did it, and I stayed with it, and because I was doing it, I don't know what told me to do this, but something said, you need to take photos, you need to document your progress. And that's exactly what I did. I took photos, I started to talk about it on my profile, and somebody had seen me doing Insanity online, and they made contact with me, and they're like, oh, hi, just wondered if you'd be interested in a support group. There's loads of people like yourself who are doing the same thing. I was like, yeah, I could do that, that's cool. And what I actually found was, these were people who understood what I was going through. These were people who were going through some of the same issues as me, and they weren't naysayers. They were not the people saying, oh, it's a health fad, oh, you're on a health kick, and it'll only last a couple of weeks, then you'll be back to eating chocolate bars every single day and night all over again. And that kind of really stood out to me. There was a community of people who knew exactly what I was emotionally feeling, and they knew exactly what I was going through, and that really helped. It gave me that extra level of commitment that I needed, and that motivation that I needed to get through that program. Now, after the first series of that program, something had happened in my brain. I couldn't get enough of it. I loved it. It was amazing. I felt amazing doing it, and just everything seemed to click into place for me. That this is something that works. This is something that can actually change my life. And it kind of stemmed from there. And I went from Insanity. I did 2 rounds of Insanity. I did 2 rounds of T25, another Sean T program. And that's when I started to realise that Beachbody was a company that could help me in more ways than just giving me a fitness program. And there was a lot of self-development being talked about in our support groups, and there was so much in there that I was just like, I need this. This is what's keeping me going right now. And eventually, like over about 6 months to a year, I came off my medication. I started feeling much better about myself. I had confidence that I'd never felt before, ever. Like, I used to stand in front of a mirror and I'd put t-shirts on, like tight t-shirts on underneath shirts that I was wearing, because I just hated myself so much and I hated the way I looked, and self-confidence was not a thing for me. But then I started to feel amazing about how well I was doing. I started to feel like I had this superpower that I could just do something that nobody else could control apart from me. And that's where it stemmed. And I really wanted to be a coach from 2012. But it wasn't available in our country, unfortunately. So I started helping other people the way that I wanted to, and like did it from there. But then up until recently, it became available in the UK, and now I am a coach, which is amazing. I love it. And I'm going to tell you about that now. So as a coach, Beachbody is a company. We love helping other people, and we don't make it about ourselves. It isn't about ourselves. It's about how many people we can help to achieve the results that they want. It's not about what we want. It's about what they want. And we invite people. We respect people for doing what they're capable of doing. We respect people for stepping out of their comfort zones, taking that step forward and actually looking at developing themselves. So we'll break it down into 4 vital behaviours that we actually have as a coach. Now, the first one that I'm actually going to talk about is that we're a product of the product. So you would have heard me saying about I was doing the programs, I was eating healthily, and I was working on my lifestyle. And that's one of the things that we do as a coach. Like, it is about being healthy. It is about leading a healthy lifestyle. And yes, that does sometimes mean that we have to eat healthy and exercise on a regular basis. But we wouldn't do that if we weren't eager about looking after ourselves, would we? So many of us do actually do the Beachbody programs, and we drink the daily nutrition drink, which is Shakeology. Now, don't get me wrong here. This does not mean that you need to be a walking billboard for Beachbody. You don't have to have Beachbody tattooed in your forehead or anything. But it is just about you being a healthier version of yourself, and being the best version of yourself that you can be. Now, a lot of people do ask me as a coach, well, do I need to be in perfect shape? Do I need to be at a goal weight? And in all honesty, no, you do not, because there's people going through the same thing as you that will understand the journey that you're on. And just you being a product of the product means that you are on a journey of health, wellness, and fitness. So it does not matter where you're starting from. All that matters is that you are actually working towards a goal that is right for yourself. Now, something else that we do for people to help them is we invite them. Now, when we say inviting, we are talking about finding out what they need help with. Is it their health? Is it their healthy eating, nutrition? So we invite other people to become healthy with us. So we're saying, look, we're on a journey. Look at what I'm doing. If you would like to join me in this, then come forward, let me know what you need, and you can, by all means, you can jump on this bandwagon and become a healthier version of yourself as well. And this is the key to being a coach. We're paying it forward. We're giving other people the opportunity to better themselves in the exact same way that we have. So you can inspire other people just by inviting them on social media and saying, oh, come and follow me on social media, participate in a challenge group, be part of a support group that you might have, an accountability group. But your goal as a coach is actually to find out how you can help them become healthier and a better version of themselves. So because you're on your own journey, people are going to ask you, well, how are you doing it? And at some point, people will come out of the woodwork and say, oh, I've seen that you did this and I've seen that you did that. And what are you doing? And that is when we start telling people about what we're doing. We share with them and invite them to be part of it with us. Now, don't get me wrong here. We're not salespeople. We're not as coaches, we're not selling things to them. What we're doing here is we build relationships with people. We find out what they need, if we have something that can help them, and we share and invite them to, be part of it with us. And it really is about building relationships and actually helping individuals and other people, whether we know them up to that point or whether it's somebody new that comes to us and says, oh, I see that you've done this and this. Can you help me? So the third vital behavior that we have as a coach is our personal development. Now, this is about bettering yourself as a person. It's all round. Like, you read, you listen to audios, you help people to become, or you listen to things that help you to become more confident as a person. And what this does, it actually helps you to realign your life, and give you the life that you want to be living, as opposed to the one that you might actually be struggling through. And it gives you the tools. Personal development will help you to benefit from other people's struggles and benefit from other people's advice. And other people have got success out there and they tell you how they've done it. And that is exactly what personal development is. It helps you to take that advice and benefit yourself as well. So the fourth vital behavior that we have is we recognize. It's recognition. So Beachbody actually is one of the only companies that proves that we believe in bettering yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally, because that's the way to do it. That's what we do, and we know it works. We have proven results and proven programs that give you what you actually want. So the personal development that you do as a coach doesn't just help you to coach. It actually helps you in your physical life as well. And we all, don't get me wrong, we all have some stuff that we're scared of. We all have stuff that we have been emotionally damaged by, whether it's relationships or family. And these really hold us back. And I can I can tell you, it really held me back. When I had that breakdown, it really did hold me back so much, and I had to overcome that. That was one of my big struggles as well. So we do limit ourselves, and our self-esteem can be battered sometimes, but it's our past experiences that make us better, and it's our past experiences that does move us forward. So that's another thing that the personal development will help you to break through and actually overcome those barriers and become the best version of you. So in terms of the recognition, the one thing that people actually do want is to feel like they matter, like people want to know that they're doing something right, and people want to know that there's something out there that's much bigger than them and much more helpful than some of the daily things that are going on in their lives. So clearly one of the vital behaviors of a successful coach is going to be to recognize people for everything they're doing. We coach these people to get results and put all this work in. Of course we're going to recognize them and praise the work that they're doing and show them how amazing they actually are for bettering themselves in the best way. So those are the 4 vital behaviors of a coach. Now, they don't sound too hard, do they? Now, if you do want to build a business out of this, it might just be something you want to do part-time. It might be a part-time income that you're after. It might be something that you eventually want to make a career out of, like in epic proportions. So, I mean, me personally, currently working as a part-time coach because I've owned 2 other businesses and I've got other stuff going on. Now, I really utilize the power hour. Now, this will help you grow your business. You don't need to spend loads and loads of time on it. A lot of people have been able to grow really successful businesses just by 1 to 2 hours a day. Some people might have a full-time job, and I know some coaches they've got an hour on the bus in the morning and they'll spend an hour on the bus on the way to work on their mobile building their business, and then on the hour home on the bus they spend their second hour on the bus home doing the second part of their work for the day. It's completely up to you what you want to get out of it. And maybe you do want to start as a full-time thing. Maybe you do want to put 4 or 5 hours. I know me personally, regardless of how well my business is going, I will always be working on a part-time hour, like part-time hours for a full-time wage. I know that because I did not start this business to take over my life. I started this business because I wanted more freedom, and I wanted to give myself much more time to live the life that I want to live. And that's essentially what we do when we start our business. We decide how much we want to work, and we decide how much we want to make. I know, like, I can say this as a disclaimer, obviously, as well. Beachbody doesn't guarantee any income that you will make. What Beachbody does do is provide you with the tools and the resources that you need, full training, full everything. But your income is a direct reflection of the work, effort, and diligence that you put in, and the tools that you utilize. So yes, it is about focusing on the 4 vital behaviors. Now, I know they seem easy, and you know what? They are. They're so easy. But when you're doing them consistently every single day, the results compound over a long period of time. So even, like, you might think 1 hour a day can't build a business, but if you're doing that 1 hour every single day, or 6 days a week, even with like one day not doing it, like, think about how many hours you're actually putting in over a year. For example, that's 360 hours. That's still much more work than if you did absolutely nothing differently. So that's essentially what we do as a coach. That is what being a coach is all about. Now, if you want to get started as a coach, and maybe you don't, maybe you're quite happy working on your fitness and just continuing with your fitness journey. So if that's something you want to do, yes, by all means, go to your coach and discuss that journey with them. Otherwise, if you are looking at starting your business as a coach, then there's a few ways you can actually do this. There is a startup fee, which is $39.95 if you want to start up without any challenge packs. But if you want to waiver your startup fee, you can waiver the $39.95 by taking on a challenge pack. Now, with your challenge pack, they range anything from £120 up to £160, depending on the program that you want, how long you're going to do it for, what tools and products you actually need. Now, for me, I would really recommend All Access, because you will get access to the Beachbody On Demand, which has every single workout program, hundreds of workouts on there, with all the meal plans, with full training, for the fitness journey, and that will give you access to that for the whole year without paying for your startup business fee. And obviously that's you sorted for the year. Now, with that, you get a bag of Shakeology, which is the nutrition drink I mentioned earlier. If you do not want to start a challenge pack, then that's completely fine. You can start with just the startup fee. Now, for your website, for all the tools, for all the training, and everything that you're provided by the company, all you have to pay is $15.95 every single month as a subscription for all those things. Now, you can stop that at any point, guys. I would never recommend you only give it a couple of months, because, well, do you know what? When I started my first business, like, I had thousands of pounds to pay as a startup for the franchise, and then I had, like, you've got resources, you've got marketing, you pay for all the advertisements, and that's all taken care of. Beachbody are taking care of all of that for only $15.95 a month. And now, that was one of the main things that actually said to me, hold on, like, you only have to run the business. You don't have to take care of all that stuff. It's all dealt with for you. And they've got their adverts, they've got their infomercials, and like, everything that's going out, and all the social networking marketing that's out there. Beachbody is paying for all of that on our behalf, and the subscription that we pay is for the website and all the training tools and all the resources that you need, like the downloads and all that training and videos and self-development that's available from our website. You do get a website for all your customers and your clients. Now, don't get me wrong here, guys. When I say the word clients, you do not need to be a personal trainer. You do not need to work in a gym. All you need to be a good coach is to care about other people and yourself. You know, you're going through this journey on, like, for yourself, but not by yourself. Like, we're all working this together. We all support each other as coaches. There's a huge network of people who are willing to give you the support that you need as a coach and to be as successful as we are. Okay, so you're not expected to know everything as you start. That's what the training's for. That's why we mentor you as a coach. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, go to your coach, have a word with them, and like they can get you started in the best way for yourself. By all means, guys, if you do have any questions and I am your coach, do get in touch with me. We will take it to the next level. We will build your business. We will make sure that you are successful, providing you're willing to do the work and you're willing to become the best version of yourself and coach that you can be. So I hope that's been really helpful, guys. I didn't want to babble on too much, so I've kept it compact. I've kept it close knit, just so that you can get the key bits of information that you might be actually looking for. But yes, if you do have any questions, please do get in touch. I know a lot of people who didn't know any of this when they began their business. They just knew what was possible and they just jumped straight in and said, right, what do I do? Tell me what to do. Now, you do get there's a 7-day quick start guide. So as soon as you start your business, you've got your first 30 minutes. So you've got a 30-minute breakdown of what's expected, what you can expect, and then you've got your first 30 days. Now, in that first 30 days, that's where we work really closely with you. We make sure that you have, or we hopefully try and get you to get your head around the key bits that will help you as an individual, because obviously we work in different ways. We all have different goals, we all have different aspirations, and that's what matters to you, okay? And that's what we are here to help you with. I'm starting to babble, I think, so I'm going to end the call, but I really hope that that's been helpful for you guys. I hope that you take a lot from that, and by all means, like I say, get in touch with your coach or with me if I'm your coach to discuss this further. I hope you're all well, guys, and have an amazing night. I will speak to you guys soon. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye.